Slideways, how you doing, my friend? Doing good, doing good. Glad to hear it, my friend. Today we are doing IMC flying, and we're doing some FedEx ops. We're going from here. Both are payware. I've got all of Colorado winterized, and to include the custom airport, Denver, that payware airport, Denver. Well, both my airports are payware, but Denver and all of Colorado has snow because Denver right now is in a snowstorm. So well, we won't see much of it because the weather is just really bad. But there's new SIDS, I'm sorry, new stars available at Denver. So I wanted to try one of the RNAV approaches coupled with an ILS assist. So that's the main reason I'm using this plane is to try that approach. By the way, this plane looks awesome in VR. It's just not very good in VR. I mean, the plane on the outside looks awesome. I flew it in VR like a week ago, but VR is just so hot, and I don't like streaming VR because it's too wobbly. Nice, yep. All right. Well, didn't mean to go through that much. But in VR, this thing looks humongous. All right, we need to do some fuel calculations. So I know we were all talking about my Stinger transition, and I do have a program that DAS, or I think it was DAS, told me about. I haven't downloaded it yet. I'm still looking at instructional videos on how to change the sound. So when I change sources like I'm fixing to right now, I'm going to get rid of this sound so the picture will flash. Maybe I can, instead of getting rid of the sound, just minimizing it somewhat. But anyway, I'm going to be researching that. I just didn't have time to do it before my stream. I'll be looking at some instructional videos afterward. So the new star, Denver has a bunch of new stuff with this last Eric. And you can see the weather is just crazy. I mean, everywhere we go, it's snowstorm here. It's overcast at 2,000 feet, 2,000 feet above. So it's just horrible weather. Nice weather in between, but our departure and arrival is just bad. So I'm going to brief the flight before we go. But first I want to get some fuel and weight calculations. All right, so we're going to go with 24,000 pounds of fuel. And I just put those in as random weights to get me what I really need is the zero fuel weight. So now we need to take out our trusty calculator, which I'm just going to use my phone for this. So zero fuel weight is 289.0. So we do 289,000. Is that right? 289. Subtract 198,000, and that gives us our cargo weight of 91,000 pounds. So that's the FedEx weight. So then you take 91,000, you divide it by 9,800, and that gives me 9 pallets. So 9 pallets times 9,800 is 88,200. So then I go back and I take 91,000, subtract 88,200, which is the pallets. That gives me 28. All right, so we got nine pallets of cargo, 2,800 pounds of other cargo, and that's 91,000 pounds of freight, essentially. Gizmo, thanks for the tip, my man. I much appreciated it yesterday. I think you tipped after the stream was over, or maybe right at the conclusion, because I got the notification afterward. But either way, I much appreciate it. It was very kind, as the note in the tip said, Happy Easter. So much appreciated. Same to you, sir. Much appreciated. Just want to let you know I did get it. I just didn't show up on the stream. But like I said, I think you might have done that after the stream was over, because I didn't see it on the activity feed anywhere. Oh, it was in the beginning? Oh, let me see. So, oh, I see that now. My bad. Was it when I was live? Because you know what? I probably didn't have an alert set up for it. I'm still working on these alerts. It was on the dashboard? Okay. Yeah, I just didn't have an alert set up for it. Like, I still don't think I have an alert set up for tips. Let me check real quick. I did add an alert. I changed the alerts for the subscribe. And as soon as I went to edit all this stuff, uh, here, let me switch back to my sim real quick. As soon as I went back to my software, Stream Elements, they've changed the entire layout. So that's why I haven't really done anything, because I'm having to learn this new layout. So I spent 30 minutes learning the new layout this morning, and I did update the alert sounds. Now I need to figure out. All right, so here is the subscriber sound, I think. Yeah, so that's not as bad as what I had. However, if I click on the tip event, let me wait for this to go away. Yeah, see, there goes the tip event, and that's just a test, obviously. But I don't have any sound attached to the tip yet, so I'm also looking for sounds for various things. So I gave you approximately 6 hints. I'm not very good with hints, my friend. You just tell me, hey, Dave, you didn't see my tip. I saw the email after the fact, but yeah, I'm stupid when it comes to streaming. I'm still learning this stuff. I think I'm making progress, but I'm still learning. But in any regard, I got it. I see it. I appreciate it. And that's gifted. No, that I don't. No, no, that I don't. Um. Anyway, so it's like all these new things I need to. I didn't download it yet. It's called where is it? Anyway, it's that thing that Das told me about yesterday. Um, video editing. So I'm gonna see if I can get rid of the sounds or the loud sounds or adjust the sounds within the transition. So that'd be cool. All right, let's hop in here. So that equates to, what was it, 9 pallets. Cargo was 2,800, and we're going 24,000. So 0 fuel weight, sim brief 289, so that's 289, so that's accurate. So we're going to load. All right. So what are we doing now? Planes loading. I don't think I need maintenance. Nope, only got one flight on this since last maintenance. So we'll turn on the battery. Go to auto. We got external powers available. Connect the ties. Add some glare shield light. nav and logo, and we'll get the GPS aligning, the INS. Bring up some panel lights. Yeah, bringing it to live, bringing it alive. All right. So the outside should look, now I've got the de-icing truck here because it's cold. It's 34 degrees and it's overcast. So we do right the button. And we need to align this FMC. So we got current Eric, it's good till April 23rd. Rolls-Royce engines. And current, that's the current stable version. Or is it a beta? I don't remember. But it's the most current. So position in it, we are at ABQ. Where's Q? So that's just to make sure that I'm at the right airport and that it's close. So that basically that GPS position is the center of the field. So you want to copy where we are. And this is just to make sure that we're close, which it is. So we're going to copy that, paste it, and that will finish the aligning process. So for fire stuff, the engine 1, engine 2 has 2 bottles each. So I would just lift this up and turn it to the left to use the first bottle, and then turn it to the right to use the second bottle. This is the APU fire, which only has 1 bottle. So just make sure they're facing the correct way, and we'll do a little test. Parking brake is on. The FMC is exactly like the 7.3. Yeah. Yep, the 737. Is it I had a discussion with someone about the Zebo mod, how the Zebo actually has more features in the FMC than this one does, but this is typical Boeing stuff. So my favorite plane is the Airbus, but I mean, this was my first payware, so I've got over, what, $120 in this, I think. It was like 90 bucks for the plane, $20 for the avionics, and $20 for the FedEx paints. So I fly it because I'm invested. But sometimes what happened to where something will break, the autopilot will break. It's just so much code to this airplane. But for these long distances, it's a very fast airplane, so that's another reason why I like flying it. So we're going to do the yaw dampers on, turn those on, get the hydros turned on, auto, auto, auto. Armed and covered. Window heat's coming on. Denver is 5433. And we'll get the environment going. And we got auto here. Turn on the recert fans. Alright, those are good. Traffic global is full, which is good because there should be some planes at the terminal. Yeah, we got planes moving around. He's taking off. It's a pretty cool program. To zoom way in to see the gear come up, unless I would have clicked on it. Sideways says you have to buy instruments. Man, that's the most stupidest thing ever invented. I know, they nickel and dime you. This is the only airplane that I have that they nickel and dime you to death. And honestly, if I hadn't bought this as my very first payware aircraft, and I got like 11 of them now, but this was my first one, there is no way I would buy this today. There's just no way. Because to have all the features that I have, you have to spend a small fortune. And there's other payware aircraft out there, like the Tolis A321, which is the latest one. I would not want this as my first airplane now if I'd known better, but once you're invested, then you gotta fly it. All right, overhead panels are good. Let's come back to, sorry about the transition, guys. File the flight plans. We've got 3002 for the altimeter. And like I said, I'll lower the volume of that transition. That's the first thing I'm going to try to do, is lower the volume of it. And then if that doesn't work, I'll just try to remove the sound altogether with that program. But I need to watch YouTube videos. I learn everything I've learned on any of this stuff. I learn everything off of YouTube. I read forums, but most of my learning is I learn by watching. So streamers and YouTube has taught me everything I know about aviation, everything, just by watching videos. It's incredible the amount of stuff you can learn online these days. It's crazy. All right, so that was with Mike, and they're taking off on 3 and 8. So we're gonna plan on 8, I think. Yeah, we'll plan on 8. So we are right there. So Denver is currently landing northbound. It's snowing in Denver. The winds are pretty light. Well, not light, it's 12 knots, but 050, so like out of the north. Very overcast, as you can tell by looking here. Denver is just crazy with snow right now. So we'll come down here to PilotEdge and we'll follow this new Star. I've never flown this Arrival before. This will be a first for me. So we're FedEx. We are a heavy. Anything over 400,000 pounds for takeoff weight is a heavy, or any airplane that would have 2 aisles would be considered a heavy. And Concorde is a heavy, not because of the weight, but because of the wake turbulence of the delta wing. So that's a little tidbit of information. I'm going to fly at 330, and I don't know, what would be a good alternate in case we don't really need an alternate because Denver has Cat 3 approaches. So I'll just leave it there because you have to have an alternate if it's bad weather, I think. There's some sort of rule that I'm familiar with, but I couldn't tell you the exact rule, the weather rules for alternates. But there is a rule for IFR alternates. No remarks. We'll file that. And we'll check it. And you have to buy instrument. Wait a minute. I heard about the Tolis 319 being easier on FPS. Was it you, my friend, that we were talking about the 319 versus the 321, both made by Tolis? You were trying to figure out which one you were going to get. You were leaning toward the 319. The 319, if it's better on FPS, is because it's an older model. It's been out for longer, so that might be why it's better on performance. Right, flight plan is filed. and I need it. You need the FPS. Yeah, because if aren't you the one that has like a 1070 or something card? So you would definitely need 1060. Yeah, you definitely need the lighter plane for performance boost. So yeah, the 319 is probably your best bet if you're going to buy now. If you're going to upgrade your computer first, then it might be good to get the 321. But yeah, if you're looking at performance, I see how the 319 would be a better choice. You found this out today. The average PilotEdge salary for ATC is 89,000 per year. Oh my God. Some of them are full-time, you know what I mean? But I don't think they're all full-time controllers. Like Marcus, he's probably on now, I don't know. That wouldn't surprise me, but I think Keith, the founder of PilotEdge, probably employs part-time people, more part-time. So I haven't heard any numbers. You're the first one who's ever told me a number for PilotEdge. So I mean, I don't know, but that seems like a lot of money. And I don't even know like what would like a real world uh controller make, like a New York controller, you know, like comparing that'd be interesting. But I mean, these guys deserve to get paid a lot of money. That's for sure, but I just don't know if all of them would make that kind of money. I could see the full-time guys for sure, but not sure about the part-time guys. ATIS is 118. Go down to 0 here.
Altimeter 3001. Arriving and departing runways 3, 8. ILS runway 3 and ILS runway 8 approach and use VFR departures, contact clearance delivery, advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Oscar.
All right, it's now Oscar.
Albuquerque International Airport. ATIS information, Oscar. 1833 Zulu. Wind 070 at 13. Visibility 2.5. Light snow, mist. Few clouds at 1,200. Ceiling 2,500 broken. 4,700 overcast. Temperature 1. Dew point -1. Altimeter 3001. Arriving and departing runways 3, 8. ILS runway 3 and ILS runway 8 approach and use VFR departures, contact clearance delivery, advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instruction. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Oscar.
All right, 19.2 is clearance. And ground is 0.9er. I prefer using this part. 53, 54, so we're good there. Airport. In real life, Slideway says, career cast list, the average air traffic controller salary is 122,400 or around there. And that was in 2017. Wow. That's really good money. I mean, they deserve it. I mean, the real world guys, they're in charge of a lot of lives. So PilotEdge is stressful because they actually have more people to watch than a normal controller. So that's interesting. That's very interesting. And what do we got here? So clearance 19.2. Right, so I'm on clearance. So remove these ground units. Stairs, LSU, fuel truck, loader. Close all the doors. And we'll get our clearance, and we're with Oscar. We're going to Denver. And I think the Hemes 3 departure is still valid. Afternoon Albuquerque clearance, FedEx 3171 heavy at cargo with Oscar, IFR Denver.
FedEx 3171 heavy Albuquerque clearance, cleared to Denver Airport. Hemes 3 departure, then is filed. Climb via the SID, squawk 2727.
Cleared to Denver via Hemes 3 departure, Hemes then it's filed. Climb via the SID, squawk 2727, FedEx 3171 heavy.
FedEx 3171 heavy, read back correct.
Alright. So while I'm pulling up my FedEx A cars, pop quiz. I don't have any rewards for correct answers, but so who can tell me why he did not give me a departure frequency? Most of the time, controllers will give you a departure frequency. So why did he not give me one at clearance and delivery? That's my pop quiz for today. Because there isn't any other ATCs. Okay, so how do I know which frequency to use, Slideways? So if he didn't give me the frequency, there's still going to be a frequency, right? So why would he have not have given me a frequency if I'm flying? I'm going to do a SID. So, you know, why did I not get a? It's good. You might have, that might be the right answer. I'm just not sure if you're wording it right. So we'll think about it for a second, and I don't want to give it away yet. We got time. All right, so my FedEx is up to, let me get the A cars going. We're flying on PilotEdge, and we're at, what was that cargo? It was 91,000 pounds. It's for my virtual airline. 330. Okay. Because he is the only ATC that has all the control over you. Okay, so I think you're confused. See, this is PilotEdge. So VATSIM, here, let me pull up VATSIM real quick. I'll show you what I mean. It's going to take a second to load. So I'm going to cross over to the scene here. Sorry about that transition. Takes a minute to load this. Takes longer than a minute, apparently. So VATSIM has a top-down ATC platform, I guess you could say. So whatever the lowest available controller frequency is at the airport that you're at is the frequency that you would use for clearance and ground and tower and so forth and departure. So eventually this thing will load. I'll come back to it. It's going to take forever to load. get the flight plan loaded, and then that should be up and running by then. Because you have to know what ATC you're going to have to be on. No, because you got to remember, PilotEdge is a professional ATC network. Everything that's done on this network is done the exact same way that it would be done in the real world. So VATSIM is done quasi-realistic, but PilotEdge, since it's a payware, they do everything by the book. So there is a specific FAA rule to why he didn't give me the departure frequency, and it's not because of what ATC controller is online. It has absolutely nothing to do with who's online. It has to do with real world information. So
Denver ground
let me
Southwest
see,
4243, spot
because you're
7,
a
Whiskey
freight
taxi,
now.
Sierra.
Let me see if this thing is up yet.
So it's 4243,
Nope, still
Denver ground runway
loading.
25, taxi via Golf.
25
So
via Gulf Southwest 4243.
we'll enter in the flight plan, and then I'll answer that question because that should be loaded. That VATSIM page should be loaded by then. So route, and let's go to AB tab. We're going to go to departure, which is the Jimenez 3. So move that there. Albuquerque to Denver. We are FedEx.
Sky Harbor ground, US 845 Heavy, South Cargo Ramp, request taxi.
But I appreciate Slyways that you're at least making guesses at it, because
UPS 845 Heavy, Phoenix ground, 2 items for you. One, you got the wrong frequency. You got
sorry,
the
I was
ground
listening to
frequency.
that go.
Secondly, it's
All
Phoenix
right,
ground. If you ever want to know the name of the facility, what
I don't
you
want
should
to
call them,
activate
look
it
on an
yet, so
airport
we're going to
diagram.
do departure.
And next to usually the tower name, it'll
And
tell you the
then
name of the facility and everybody in the tower cab. That's what you
depart.
should identify them as.
We're going to do 3 or 8, I think.
My apologies, UPS 845
It's going to be 8
Heavy.
because runway 3 has horrible performance issues. So you click on the runway, then it will only give you the SIDs associated with the runway. So Jimenez 3, index, and then the arrival into Denver is this new arrival that I've never done before, which is the Tiberi. So next page, Tiberi, and then we're taking it from Gandola. And then we're going to do an RNAV approach because, well, they're fun. So we're going to do an RMP coupled with an ILS Cat 3. So that would be, is it 3, 5, or no, they're landing north. So it would be an ILS 35 left from Ladora. So ILS 35 left.
Phoenix ground, UPS 845 Heavy at the South Cargo Ramp, request taxi.
From
UPS
Ladora.
845 Heavy, Phoenix ground, verify
So
squawk
then
4341.
legs, get rid of the discos.
We've got 4341 in the box for UPS 845 Heavy.
UPS 845 Heavy, thank you, runway 7 left, taxi via hotel, cross runway 7
So we
right,
got
and
Tyler,
information Victor current.
green, fire,
Taxi via hotel, cross runway
MS.
7 right, UPS 845 Heavy.
Alright, so the
UPS
rest of it
845
is
Heavy, it's runway 7
fine,
left,
and
taxi
then
via hotel, and cross runway 7 right on hotel 1.
Denver's
UPS 845 Heavy, 7 left via hotel, clear to cross 7 right.
arrival, and it is called, I have to look at it again, I already forgot the name of this thing. Tiberi, T, it's at the very bottom. Alright, so Gandola, T-bar, wait, never lift, T-bar, Monarch, and then Cush, and then Ladora to the approach. And I'll brief all that. I was just making sure these waypoints are accurate. I'll brief it before we go. So all those are correct. So we can go to init. And oh, we need to get our fuel reserves. So I'm gonna go back over to the, maybe that thing's loaded by now. Yep, it's loaded. So hold your ears. I know y'all hate this transition. I'm gonna get it fixed. So, all right. So before I forget, let me make a note. I need reserve fuel and cost index. I'll get that in a second. So, you know, that's why I don't like VATSIM right now. There is no ATC online for Albuquerque nor Denver. So there's guys that, you know, these guys ain't talking to anyone. But PilotEdge has this entire area that they guarantee ATC 15 hours a day. So that's the main reason I pay for it. Plus it's professional grade, as you said, you know, these guys make a lot of money. So, okay. So let's say we were going to take off from this airport. So this airport on VATSIM.
That was 4243 Denver Tower, 125, cleared for takeoff, wind 030 at 10.
Let me mute him for a second. Sorry about the black screen. Okay. So let's say that on VATSIM we were going to take off at this airport. There is no clearance, there's no tower, there's no ground controller. The only controller that is in charge of this airport is Kentucky Center, or what, Kansas City Center. So if we were going to get clearance at this airport, we would dial in 125.72. That's just how VATSIM works. It's a free network. They got to make, you know, you got to figure out how do you provide ATC if there's only one controller online. So this guy has a top down. So he is the tower. He is the departure. He is everything. So if we were flying in this area, that is the only frequency that we would use, period. No other frequency. There's not even an ATIS that we could use. However, in the real world, which is what PilotEdge uses, real world procedures. Yes, we talk to the same guy, but we use real world frequencies and procedures. So we're flying the Hermes 3. So first off, we dialed in the clearance and delivery, which is 19.2. So we're using real world frequencies to get all of our information. So when we're ready for ground, we're going to tune into 121.9, and then we'll tune into frequency 120.3. So we're using real world frequencies even though we're talking to the same guy, but we're able to change frequencies. If we were on VATSIM, there is no changing frequencies. You just choose the frequency and you're stuck with it because it's not very realistic in that regard. The procedures are realistic, but changing of frequencies is not. But in PilotEdge, it is just like you would in the real world. So we talked to clearance. We filed the Ladora, or I'm sorry, the Hermes 3 departure. And the reason he did not give us a departure frequency is because on the published departure, there is a frequency published, 127.4, Albuquerque departure TRACON. So that is our departure frequency, and that's how it would be done in the real world too. So PilotEdge uses real world frequencies, real world procedures. So we're going to tune into this frequency only because he did not give me a different frequency. If he gives me a frequency at clearance, then naturally we would use that one. But if they omit the frequency, then you always use whatever's published. So I'm going to verify that I got 127.4 wrote down, which I do on my notes. So that's our departure. That's why he did not give us a departure frequency. Now, sometimes you could have an airport that has multiple frequencies for departure depending upon where you're going, like Spokane, for example. Let me go to Spokane real quick. So the departure Spokane 6 has multiple frequencies. West departures 12375, east departures 133.35. So they could omit that and leave it up to the pilot to determine which one of these to use. But a lot of times they'll make it easy and they'll tell you 12375, or maybe they have a different one for that day. So, you know, there are published frequencies. So if they omit the frequency, you just look at the chart and that's the one that you use. And that is exactly the same way it's done in the real world. So hopefully that explains it a little bit better. And I'm still going to brief the flight before we get out of here. Oh, I need to get the okay. Oh, okay, cool. I'm glad I explained that to where you get it, because here you just use whoever's online, you know. But on PilotEdge, you use real world procedures, which is why you pay for it. You know, you're paying for realism. So, all right, so I need cost index. So let's come up here. Cost index 25. Reserve fuel 4.2. And cost index 25. Of course, my dog's gonna start barking now for no reason at all. All right, 4.2, and then 0 fuel weight. We'll just click on that. That matches SimBrief. Cost index 25. So before you put in a cruise altitude with any Boeing, you make sure that there's no discos. So you do your departure and arrival and any airways. You do your entire flight plan before. Get rid of the discos. Put in all your fuel, 0 fuel weight, cost index. If you don't do it in that order, then there's a good chance you will get a cannot cruise error message. So we're going to put in 330, and we have no error messages because of that. And then before we go to takeoff data, I'm going to go back to route. We're going to enter in runway 8. We're going to activate, execute, and then perf. I need to get the weather. You're still a beginner. I need to use VetSim. Cats are better. Cats are better. Yeah, cats will leave you alone. What is she barking at? I'll be right back. She might need to go outside. BRB. Alright guys, I know why they were barking. The wife was out shopping or getting some groceries and she just drove in, but I didn't even hear the garage door open. Anyway, mystery solved. Alright, so we did all that, so now we need takeoff data. So we're gonna do 5 flaps and the CG. So trim is 4.1. So we got trim set. Then we'll do page 2. We're gonna enter in the runway's already set. So the wind's 080 at 13. The temperature here is 1 Celsius. And we're gonna derate to about 50. Speed on. Boom, boom, boom. That will populate our V speeds here, which is a setting that'll make it automatically populate those numbers. You can set the setting, I don't know, one of these options. Oh, is that it? Yeah, V speeds full auto, unrealistic. So technically, I guess you're supposed to do that yourself. But I chose unrealistic because I think you have to use these knobs here to do it, and it's kind of tedious, so I just find it faster. Altitude restrictions, we don't have any altitude restrictions except for the climb aspect of it, which I'll brief. So autopilot, let me set this, come over here, set that, then, oops, that was on auto already. Flight directors, auto throttle, 210 knots. And so he said climb via the SID. So he didn't give me an altitude. So I'll show you, well, I already know what the altitude is. So the top of the SID, top altitude is flight level 200. So the instruction at clearance was climb via the SID. So that just means top altitude is 200. Vertical speed about 2,100 initially, bank angle 25 degrees, and initial heading will be 079. Jeez. And then we'll arm heading to populate there, and then we'll arm LNAV. So autopilot is set. And we got engine display. No fuel in the center, so we don't need the fuel tanks. For the center, we have 24,000 pounds, so we're good on fuel. I'm going to unmute ATC, otherwise I'll forget and I'll be like, they're not hearing me. We'll turn on the beacon. And we have to get rid of these ice truck. We're ready for start. High pressure unit, so we're going to be starting the engines using the high pressure unit and not the APU.
UPS 845 Albuquerque Center, climb and maintain flight level 310.
Alright, so we're going to go to ground on engine 2. Wait till we get about 14 N2. We'll get some oil pressure. Once we have the oil pressure and we know there's oil pressure, then we'll add fuel. There it is, adding fuel. Make sure we don't have too hot of a start on the EGT. Why what? Talking about the oil pressure, or like why I don't add the fuel right away? Use both not APU to start engine. Oh, only because it's freight. It's a freighter. So if you're at a gate, I like to try to do my best to simulate, how things are done in the real world. You don't want to start your engines at the gate because you can damage the gates and the buildings and stuff. But in the cargo areas, it's pretty common to start the engines using a high pressure unit. I could use the APU to start the engine, but I usually use the APU upon landings when I shut down the engines. I still have power because right now I'm still connected to the GBU, ground power unit. So it's just because I'm connected to the ground power unit that I prefer to use the high pressure unit. And if I was going to use the APU, I'd have to turn on this isolation valve, and it's just an
Denver
extra
Tower,
step.
American 491 Heavy, ready runway 25.
We're ready to start engine 1. So it's not that you can't start with an APU, it's just personal preference. So with my Airbus, I start with an APU because I start on pushback, but when I'm in the freighters, I start with the high pressure units.
American 491 Denver Tower, runway 25, cleared for takeoff, wind at 030 at 11.
Clear for takeoff 25, American 491 Heavy.
Prescott clearance, Cessna 190 Mike Echo at Prescott. I pick up a IFR to Lake Havasu. It's Hotel India.
So once these are at 20 and 1 both,
190 Mike Echo, Prescott.
verify there's no idiot lights on. We got gen lights.
Yeah, 8000
So
is not
we'll
going to
turn
do.
on
I'll
the
tell you
gens,
that.
engine gens.
And direct from
We'll make sure those lights extinguish.
10,000 available.
We'll lose the
Yeah, affirmative.
external
We can
power.
do 10,000 on that. 0 Mike Echo.
Okay, you can save us a little bit of work if you look at the low and route charts in between there. You'll notice that the off-route altitude between Mumty and where you want to go, 8,000 isn't going to do there. You're going to have to go on an airway at least all the way to the Needles VOR. So give me just one moment. I'll be right back with you.
No worries. Thank you.
Call the.
And then another note while I have you, no need to ever indicate direct in a route. A simple space or nothing says the same exact thing.
Ground to cockpit, plan
10-4, got it. Thanks for the
Call me
help.
to the menu when you are ready.
Start the pushback.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Go. Flaps 5. Maybe. Here we go.
Skyhawk 190 Mike Echo, Prescott clearance cleared to Lake Havasu Airport. Winsky 2 departure, Mumty transition.
Okay, all doors
Victor
and
1,
hatches
2.
are closed. Ready to connect.
Needles VOR, direct. Climb and maintain 10,000. Squawk 2721.
How you get that view? Oh, it's better pushback.
Okay, so
It's a
0 Mike
plug-in.
Echo's cleared
Just
to
go to tug
the
cab
Havasu
view.
Airport by
And then you use, like it says here, left mouse button.
I didn't catch the departure,
move
but I got
around.
the Monty transition, Victor 12 to Needles, maintain 10,000 and squawk 2721.
Yeah, it's the same departure you filed. November 190 Mike Echo, cleared to Lake Havasu Airport. Winsky 2 departure, Mumty transition. Rest to read back correct.
Okay, Winsky 2 on the departure. And frequency, departure frequency is?
On the chart.
Thank you, sir. We'll get you over to ground here in just a bit.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release
American 491 Heavy, contact departure.
Departure American
We're not
491
going
Heavy.
to push back onto an active taxiway. This is what you would consider a non-movement area in this area. At least I believe
November
so.
150 Golf Charlie, descend at pilot's discretion to maintain flight level 240.
So for non-movement areas such as this, you don't need permission from ATC. If we were going to push onto an active taxiway, then I'd have to let ground control know I'm pushing onto or request push onto Foxtrot, for example. But since we're going to stay in the cargo area, we don't need to ask
491
permission.
Heavy, Denver departure,
And
radar
that's
contact,
the
climb and
same
maintain flight
on
level 230.
VATSIM or PilotEdge. VATSIM sometimes will simulate ramp control, but I have yet to have PilotEdge simulate ramp control. They might, during an event, but
UPS 845,
normally
contact
they don't.
Albuquerque Center 134.6.
Starting pushback.
Sir 5. Check the air brakes.
UPS 845, contact Albuquerque Center 134.6. Southwest 4243, contact Denver Center 133.67. UPS 845,
Normally you would want to take off on runway 3, but
arrival. Expect runway 3.
this airport has performance issues on runway 3. It has an FPS of like 10, but runway 8's a little bit better. I brought it up to Mr. X, but he has yet to push a
Southwest 4243, Denver
an
Center,
update.
roger.
But I'm sure he will at some point. So I'm going to brief this, once he's done with the pushback, I'll brief it. So we're going to do cargo, aft and bulk, heat, cargo
Operation
heat.
complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Alright, while they're disconnecting, we'll
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
come over here, hold your ears for the transition. Alright, we are taking off on 8. I'm going to request 8, so we're going to have kind of a weird taxi. We're doing the Hemez 3, which is runway specific. So if the winds was better for, say, what is this, 26, then we would have to do, I have it wrote down, atomic, I think. Atomic SID. So basically they both go off in the same direction, except depending on the winds. I filed the Hemez 3 because I knew the winds were out of this direction, plus ATIS showed
Lima Tango, Salt Lake City Center, stand by.
PilotEdge, ATIS, PilotEdge showed they're taking off, departing 3 and 8, so I knew to file the Hemez. If they were taking off 2-6, then I would have filed the Atomic 3 to
American
Atomic,
491, contact Denver Center 127.02.
and then we would have gone for to Barry. So that's why I did that. So the only thing we have to look for is to be less than 230 knots. I have 210 dialed in, and then we can accelerate to 230. We'll go autopilot on at 500 AGL. We got to be above 12,000 feet, but under 250 knots at green. So when Clarence said climb via the SID, that just means abide by these restrictions. So above 5860, autopilot on, less than 230 knots, above 12,000. Line below means you have to be above. Line above, like here, means you got to be below. So we got to be below 250 knots.
Is this your first flight on the network?
If there was a line above and below, then that means you got to cross at that altitude or at that speed. So then we're going to grab the Tabera.
All right, we need to work on your IFR filing. Okay, it's going to be a minute, stand by.
Vera.
American 491, Denver Center, Roger, climb and maintain flight level 360.
So we're going to go to Gandola, which is here. So that's the first waypoint of the star. So here above flight level 270, above.
All right, so number 410 Lima Tango. First thing, let's see, in the route,
here's
never file an airport. Airports can't be used as waypoints. If you're using your departure and your destination,
then,
those are already filed in your departure and arrival airports.
Between flight level 210
if you're
and
flying a departure
17,000.
procedure, that needs to be filed in the routing section. Number 0.
Let me mute him. Okay, so we got to be between these altitudes. We got to be below 15,000. And here's a good example. We got to cross Cush
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has
at
been removed.
14,000
We'll see you next
at
time and have fun up
210
there.
knots, like right on the money. You got to cross at that. That's what the line above and below means. You got to cross at. Line above, we got to be below it. Line of below, we got to be above it. So that's what those lines mean. And then Ladora, we got to cross at 13,000, at 13,000 at 210, because I'm planning for 3.5 left. So we're going to do an ILS 3.5 left, which is a Cat 3 from Ladora. So it'll be a full approach, which means no vectoring. So the initial approach fix, IAF, from Ladora is the last waypoint of the star, is the first waypoint of the approach. So that means we don't need to be vectored for an ILS. You just pick up the approach from the last point of the arrival. So then we'll follow these waypoints, we'll intercept the localizer, and then we'll be on the ILS. And that's for north ops. If we land south, then I want to try the 17 right Zulu. And this is why, because you'll come up this way. So landing runways 17 left or right. So we'll follow these waypoints. And then we'll pick up an RMP approach from Quickie. Same waypoint. So it'll be, again, there won't be any vectoring. It'll be an RMP approach with an ILS assist. That's only if they change ops. So I'm going to plug this in as a second flight plan once we're in the air, in case we need it. So let's go back. We'll dial that in the air, the second flight plan. And where's my notes? Alright, we need to squawk before we do anything. 2727. Squawk Charlie, which is basically squawking altitude. And that TCAS is on, transponder is on. Engine display is good. Turn on that display. Check ATIS.
Wind 050 at Niner. Visibility 1.5.
Honor 7
Light
departure.
snow. Mist.
Werner,
Ceiling
transition.
1,900 overcast.
Direct
Temperature 1.
Zachary.
Dew point -1.
Then as found.
Altimeter 3001. Arriving
via
and
the
departing
SID.
runways 3, 8.
Squawk
ILS runway 3
746.
and ILS runway 8 approach and use FR departures.
Alright, so
Contact clearance delivery.
McCarran
Advise
Airport,
on
Contact
course
center
heading.
departure, Werner
Altitude.
transition
Flight
direct to
following
Zachary,
is
then as well.
requested.
Climb via the
Read
SID,
back all runway
Squawk
assignments and hold
7460.
short instructions.
Southwest
Advise on initial
3502,
contact you have
backtrack,
information,
25.
Papa.
Thank you.
Alright, we're current with Papa.
Albuquerque.
We are monitoring guard on COM 2.
Centennial clearance.
So
Elite
guard is
91,
121.5, and
requesting IFR to
you would want to monitor
Eagle
guard
County,
on
and we
VATSIM or
have,
PilotEdge or
Bravo.
the real world. Because, especially on VATSIM, because if you lose frequencies or whatever, ATC can always reach you on guard, no matter if you're on the ground or in the air, sitting still, whatever. So always
Elite
monitor
91, I think, was the
ground
call
on
sign,
COM
standby.
2. That way you'll also hear if someone calls an emergency on guard, you'll know if it is close to you. We are currently on clearance and delivery, so I need to swap that over to ground control. And then tower for Albuquerque is, I'm looking at real world charts, 120.3. 121.9, 120.3 is tower.
Elite 91, the call sign you've actually logged in as a Russian registration. Elite Savka is the call sign.
Taxi lights
Elite
on.
Savka Airlines, ETF.
That's interesting, sir. That's the call sign on this check ride I'm taking. I'll amend that flight plan and refile it with you. Back with you shortly.
Okay, thanks.
And Prescott Ground, System 190 Mike Echo, hit Legends with Echo taxi to the active request runway 3 right, please.
We're departing the 2-1s for November 190 Mike Echo. Information Echo current.
Lower this
Okay,
traffic
just
global
thought we'd
a little
request,
bit.
so yeah, runway 21's fine.
Number 190 Mike Echo. Prescott Ground runway 21 left, taxi via Delta, cross runway 12 on Delta.
All right, Delta
auto
and cross
brakes on
12 on
RTO,
Delta, clear
spoilers are armed
to
for directed
taxi
takeoff.
21, 0
And
Mike
we're
Echo.
ready to taxi now. Since we're in a heavy, you always say heavy.
Number
If
0
you're
Golf
in
Charlie,
an
contact
airplane that
Seattle
has
Center
2 aisles
126.6.
or a Concorde or anything that is over 400,000 pounds for takeoff weight because of wake turbulence. Now, you only say heavy, anything less than centers. VATSIM's a little bit different, but in the real world and on PilotEdge, you only say heavy on the TRACONs and below. And that's just for separation purposes. Once you're into the centers and you're at higher
150
altitudes,
Golf Charlie,
separation
Seattle
is
Center
not as
under.
important for
Seattle
wake
is landing
turbulence.
south, altimeter 3043, cross Jackson at maintain 12000.
Freaking slideshow because of the scenery. It will get a little better once I get north of this airport. I mean north of the runway here. So I'm going to come up here to the whole short of this taxiway, then we'll get our taxi instructions.
Centennial Ground, November 714 Mike Hotel, with Bravo, requesting clearance to Eagle County.
Say again, call sign at Centennial.
November 714 Mike Hotel.
Okay, you might need to disconnect and reconnect. You're still logged in as Elite 91, or what you called was Elite 91.
Will do.
Albuquerque ground, FedEx 3171 heavy at cargo, current with Papa. Ready to taxi at request runway 8 due to scenery issues.
FedEx 3171 heavy Albuquerque ground, runway 8, taxi via Foxtrot, Charlie, Golf, Echo 1, and hold short of runway 12 at Echo 1.
Runway 8 via Foxtrot, Charlie, Golf, Echo 1, hold short 12 at Echo 1, FedEx 3171 heavy.
November 5 Alpha Kilo, send a pilot's discretion to maintain 1000. Number 5 Alpha Kilo, the Tri-Cities altimeter 3041.
Foxtrot, Charlie, we're going to hold short at Echo 1 to be Golf, so you're going to make a right here. My FPS right now, it's 15, but once I get up about here, then it will be a lot better on frames. I don't know what it is with this scenery on this end of the airport. 12 FPS. It will clear up though once we get up here.
Centennial Ground, King Air, 714 Mike Hotel with Bravo requesting clearance to Eagle County.
You get less? Oh, I bet you do with your
King Air
video
715
card.
Hotel Centennial clearance, cleared to Eagle Airport, Rockies
For
5
those of you
departure,
that don't
Kremling
know,
transition,
Sideways
direct.
has a
Climb and maintain
1060
8,000, expect
for a
16,000
video
within 5
card.
minutes of departure.
You're rendering
Denver
shit.
departure freak
Yeah.
126.1, squawk 3304.
There we go. Now we're in the 20s
Clear to Eagle
FPS.
County, Rocky 5 departure, Kremlin transition, then direct up to 8, expect 16 within 5, 126.1, squawking 3304.
November 4
But isn't
Mike,
X-Plane based on your CPU? Well, no, I mean it's both. You have to find out where your bottleneck is, so you can look at like the task manager performance, and you can see which is like I monitor CPU and GPU up top. My CPU is 0.038 right now. Hang on, am I going the right way? Yeah.
Phoenix Ground, United 1505.
Glad I didn't go straight because that's the runway.
Information pictures ready for taxi.
So my CPU is 0.035, my GPU is 0.02. So my bottleneck right now would be my GPU.
United 1505.
Explaining that right.
335 Alpha Kilo.
But
Chinook approach information.
so
Golf is
CPU,
let me know when you're able to get it.
X-Plane is definitely CPU intensive.
Approach, runway
but
21
your video card is very, very dated, and you only have 6 gigs of VRAM, which is horrible. So you really that would be your first upgrade, would be your video card, and then think about processor after that. But you'll definitely will see some gains in your FPS with a better video card. And once and you also might want to try the Vulcan, the 11.5 beta. You probably will get more performance out of your current card that way. It's more streamlined. They don't use the
contact Albuquerque approach,
the old API of what's the name of that? Anyway, we have to hold short of 1-2 at Echo 1, which is right here.
UPS 845 Heavy Albuquerque approach, advised descending via the Kirky 3 arrival with the ATIS. Expect ILS.
So when I check in with the tower, so I can switch to tower at any time when you're holding short. You don't need permission to go from ground to tower. However, it is opposite when you land. You need permission to go from tower to ground, but you don't need permission to go from ground to tower. So that's kind of confusing, I guess. But taking off, you just switch to tower on your own, which I just did. We're going to dial in departure 127.4, and yeah, so after you land, you stay with tower because they may say stay with me while you taxi, so you might not even be told to go to ground.
November 5 Alpha Kilo.
So you never go to ground on your own, but you can go to tower on your own. And at busy airports or during events, you just monitor tower and you don't have to sign in. But we're not at an event right now, so we're gonna check in with them. All right, 127.4 is departure, so we got that dialed in off the SID. Do some landing lights here, some strobes.
608 Juliet, Salt Lake Center on request, M-line.
So we're gonna say we're holding short, runway 12 at Echo 1. He will say something along the lines of cross runway 12, runway 8 cleared for takeoff, wind, whatever. That's what he's probably going to say. And clean up this.
Number 698 Juliet, Salt Lake Center is cleared to the Council Municipal Airport. Hand him to departure, then is filed.
So I'm going to wait. You have to wait until he says read back correct. before I
Actually, that's not going to work.
interrupt them.
1-2000 is not high enough. Can you go 1-4000? We'll start there before I finish your clearance. Roger. The departure and the MEA both require higher than 12. So it'll be November 0 Sierra Alpha is cleared.
I need those charts.
Number
Yeah.
698 Juliet is cleared too.
Yep. If you're going to fly online, you definitely want a
climb and maintain
chart,
4000.
a chart subscription.
Departure in Salt Lake Center 133.
I know Aerosoft has charts,
4473, hold for release.
But most people use Navigraph. That's what I have. I think I had an Aerosoft nav data for the Airbus for like one data set, but now I have nav data for Navigraph and the charts. So.
Alright, 698 Juliet, readback is correct. Call me back when you're ready to go.
So you said readback correct. So now I'm clear to ask him to take off, and I'm going to tell him.
Prescott Tower, System 190 Mike Echo, short 21, ready for departure. IFR.
Number 5 Alpha Kilo, Roger. Thank you. UPS 845 at BBQ. Clear the ILS runway 3 approved.
Update our winds here, 060.
Number 0 Golf Charlie, contact Seattle approach 125.6.
9. And temperature's 1.
Who else is calling ready?
Yeah, System 190 Mike Echo, holding short 21, ready for departure.
Cessna 190 Mike Echo, Prescott Tower, wind calm, runway 21 left, cleared for takeoff.
21 left, clear for takeoff, 0 Mike Echo.
Centennial ground, King Air 714 Mike Hotel on the north GA ramp with Bravo, ready for taxi.
Got multiple aircraft calling at the same time. November 714 Mike Hotel, Centennial ground, runway 35 right, taxi via Alpha.
35 right via Alpha, 714 Mike Hotel.
Other aircraft calling is at 150 Golf Charlie, Stoseg, and altitude verify Aviatus.
For free,
Charlie, thanks for golf.
no, Navigraph is subscription. Right. I'll bring it up on the, I'll bring up the website once I'm in the air and we'll take a look at that.
Phoenix Tower,
Aerosoft, no, both. Anytime you're talking nav data, it's payware. You don't, nav data is never free.
Okay, runway to the left, clear for takeoff, United 1505.
Southwest 4243, contact Salt Lake City Center 135.77. Southwest 4243, Salt Lake City Center, please 135.77.
Trying to find my space here. I don't want to step on someone because...
Okay, November 0 Golf Charlie, turn right, heading 250, descend and maintain 6,000, vectors for the approach. Denver Center trying to reach Southwest 4243. Okay, it's fourth time now, Southwest 4243, contact Salt Lake City Center, 135.77.
You have it for the rest of your life. No, it's a, for Navigraph charts, which gives you all the charts, and the nav data is a yearly, well, they have different, here, I'll show you. Albuquerque Tower, FedEx 3171 Heavy, holding short, 12 at Echo 1.
Southwest 4243, Salt Lake City Center, roger, thank you.
I'm sure you heard me.
FedEx 3171 Heavy, Albuquerque Tower, runway, cross runway 12 on Echo 1, runway 8, cleared for takeoff, wind 050 at 9er.
Cross runway 12 at Echo 1, runway 8, cleared for takeoff, FedEx 3171 Heavy. Alright. So we are good.
Delivery, good afternoon, Southwest 1389, clearance to Reno.
But I'll show you the different, you can do like monthly subscription. You can buy just like one set of nav data, but I'll show you those options here in a little bit.
Maintain 7,000, departure frequency 118.42, squawk 1502.
Clear to Reno, Cascade 2, Polly, maintain 7,000, 118.42 and 1502 in squawk for Southwest 1389.
Southwest 1389, read correct.
Alright, engines 50%. Make sure the engines are stable before you go full power. Otherwise you can have one engine going spooling up faster than the other and it can run you off the runway.
November 410 Lima Tango.
So now we're at
still not quite
derated.
There, and then secondly, you're calling
alive.
Salt Lake Center from a towered field and one that's operated with PilotEdge network. Contact the ground controller, and I'll just have full for you. Stand by. Actually, just advise when you're there.
Albuquerque Tower, UPS 845 Heavy on the ILS runway 3.
UPS 845 Heavy, Albuquerque Tower, runway 3, clear to land, 10509er.
Clear land, runway 3,
Just
UPS
gonna hold
845 Heavy.
just hold the pitch. It will take off on its own. You don't have to push it.
November.
There we go.
190 Mike Echo.
Positive rate, gear coming
Phoenix
up.
departure.
Over to departure, 190 Mike Echo.
And then at 6,000.
United 1505, contact departure.
Go autopilot
Over to
on.
departure, United 1505.
Alright, 6,000. Speed, autopilot on.
November 150 Golf Charlie, turn left heading 20.
Gears up and verified.
3,000.
And wait till after this turn and we'll go to flaps 1 and we'll accelerate to 240.
Salt Lake clearance, Southwest 765, IFR to Reno.
Number 600 Juliet, release for departure, clearance void if not off by the top of the hour, time now 1948, if not off by 20, call back with your intentions later than 2015, frequency change approved.
Do flaps 1.
FedEx 3171 Heavy, contact departure.
Over to departure, FedEx 3171 Heavy, see ya.
Plus 765 Salt Lake clearance,
Departure
I'll
is
have your request, stand by.
127.4.
Phoenix departure, United 1505, 6,500 to 8,000.
Flaps all the way out.
1505,
You
Phoenix
gotta be
departure,
above 12,000 by
contact
green.
climate maintain flight level 210.
Need to be above
Climate maintain level
12,000, which
210, United 1505.
should be. Albuquerque departure, FedEx 3171 Heavy, Jimenez 3, leaving 9,400, climbing via the SID.
FedEx 3171 Heavy, Albuquerque departure, radar contact.
Alright, so the only thing I said was altitude leaving and we're climbing via the SID, because we don't have any other specific instructions. So top speed at green is 250, so we can
Number 335 Alpha Kilo,
go up
turn
to
left heading
250. We can go faster once we cross green. Usually the speed limit is at 10,000 feet, but you don't have to. I mean, you have to go by the SID, obviously.
Number 410 Lima Tango, Jackson, ground your on request, standby, number 2 in line.
Alright, so icing conditions, yep, so I will
Number
turn
150 Golf
on
Charlie, Seattle Airport
the wing and engine icing, because we're in moisture and it's cold. I probably should have turned those on earlier.
Runway 16 right, once you're established on final
Can
contact
unarm
tower,
the spoilers, and we'll go to the legs page, 12,250, that's correct. My green. Looks like we're be 12,000.
765 Salt Lake City clearance, clear to Reno Airport, Desert 1 departure, Battle Mountain transition that has filed, climb and maintain 10,000, departure frequency 135.5, squawk 7002, do not exceed 230 knots in the climb until advised.
Monthly subscription is a waste, yeah, and plus you get discounts if you go with like the yearly. Jimenez.
Level 765, read back correct.
Do not exceed 250 until after green. So we
United
go
1505,
faster after
contact
green.
Albuquerque Center 134.32.
Top altitude is
13432, United
200, which we
November
have
5
set.
Alpha Kilo, the airport, 1 o'clock, 12 miles, report when you have it in sight.
Fill this aside, 5 Alpha Kilo.
There we go. Looking good.
November 5 Alpha Kilo, thank you. Contact Tri-Cities Tower, 135.3, cleared visual approach, runway 21 right.
Turn off the taxi and landing lights. Check
714
the
Mike Hotel
cabin
Centennial
pressure.
Tower, wind 360 at 12, fly runway heading runway 35 right, cleared for takeoff.
Differential's fine. Cabin is
UPS 845, heavy left turn at Foxtrot into the cargo ramp, stay on my frequency, good day.
climbing. I want it to climb a little faster. Come on.
FedEx 3171 heavy, contact Albuquerque Center 134.6.
134.6, FedEx 3171 heavy. 134.6.
150 Golf Charlie, Seattle Tower, runway 16 right, cleared to land, wind variable at 4.
Alright, we are past
United
that.
1505 Albuquerque Center, climb and maintain flight level 310.
Climb and maintain flight level 310, United 1504.
Coming up to transition altitude.
Somebody else is calling step on.
So I'll check in after transition altitude at flight level 180, so we'll hit the
335 off Kilo, Tri-Cities Tower, thank
standard.
you. Wind calm, runway 21 right, cleared to land.
So now we're at standard. We're going to check in with flight levels now instead of thousands.
Salt Lake Center, Baron 698, Juliet with you at 5,000 for 14,000 out of 700.
Number 6 Center, a Juliet, Salt Lake City Center, radar contact 34 miles north of Missoula, altitude checks, now Missoula altimeter 3029er.
3029 for Baron 698, thanks.
Albuquerque Center, FedEx 3171, flight level 196, coming via the
FedEx 3171, Albuquerque Center, climb and maintain flight level 330.
Climb maintain flight level 330, FedEx 3171.
King Air 4 Mike.
So you'll notice I didn't
departure.
say heavy. That's because I'm with the center. Once you get with center, you no longer have to say heavy because, like I said earlier, it's only for wake turbulence and separation purposes in the lower altitudes. So we're going to pick up the speed to about 310 and then we'll climb again. At about 2,500 feet. Climb up to flight level 330. Let's push the range out a little bit on that.
Select Southwest 4243, request 2 minutes away, we'll call back.
Southwest 4243, no problem. Number 714 Mike Hotel, Denver departure, good afternoon, radar contact, turn left heading 320 and climb and maintain 900,000.
Be right back. Okay. Yeah, let me know when you're back. I'll show you that Navigraph stuff. Let's lower the sound a smidgen more. Once I start losing speed, we'll go to flight level change, which is basically IAS mode. So I'm just keeping an eye on the speed. When it starts dropping, then I'll know when to switch. Otherwise, I like to control my climb so it doesn't outclimb the cabin pressure too quickly. This thing has issues with cabin pressure because you can already see the difference. I'm probably going to get an alarm. Just, I don't know why. This plane has weird issues with cabin pressure. Let's see if we can bring up the weather on this one.
Number 0 Golf Charlie, roger, be November, Tango, Quebec into the ramp, stay on my frequency, we'll see you next time. Number 4 Mike Hotel, climb and maintain 16,000. Number 410 Lima Tango, Jackson Ground, you still there?
You're back? All right, cool. All right, looks like I'm coming up
Center, Southwest
to
4243, back with you.
pretty soon.
Southwest 4243, roger.
So I'll go over that Navigraph chart stuff here in just a second. I think I got, let me see, I'm like 2702. Alright, now I'm losing speed, so we're going to switch to flight level change. And then that will control the
Mike Hotel on present heading, join the Rockies 5 departure. For Mike Hotel, I guess I should be more specific. On present heading, join the Kremlin transition. November 714 Mike Hotel, roger, turn right, heading 120. Number 4 Mike Hotel, descend to maintain 9,000.
We're going to go to, once I reach my cruise, we'll go to VNAV.
November 5 Alpha Kilo, cross runway 21 left on Charlie.
Use the cost index.
Alpha, echo into the ramp, hold short of runway 30 on Alpha. Or 5 Alpha Kilo, straight ahead to cross runway 2 and left on Charlie.
2,800
left turn
feet,
Alpha,
2,900
hold short
feet
of
per
runway
minute.
30.
It's 32,000. One more 1,000 to go. Would be this airplane's like a rocket ship. That's the reason I don't go VNAV on climb, because if there's not an altitude restriction, this thing will climb at like 6,000 feet per minute, and it will.
Thank you.
Altitude alert. It's probably just saying I'm 1,000 feet from cruise. So yep, that's what it was. And let's see what our cabin pressure is. Once we get, all right, so altitude capture, we got VNAV, good there.
November 4 Mike Hotel, turn right now heading 150.
So now we're on cost index. All right, that's fine. Loading in some machinery, I guess. Let's take a look at this. So switching scenes, hold your ears. Alright, so this is Navigraph, products, Navigraph data, Navigraph charts. So you can buy a single data set, or you could just have the charts, whatever, but this Navigraph charts, you have charts for the entire world. So let's see. Let's purchase subscription.
Number 190 Mike Echo, stepped on second.
So this is what I have. This is what I recommend for anyone that flies online. So that's Euro. So I do annually, and with that you get all the charts and the FMS data, so all the ERIC will be updated.
Number 190 Mike Echo.
So
turn
what
right
is
heading 300
Euro,
vectors. Oh, Cappy on the RNAV runway 12 approach.
75 euros, $2. So United States, if you were to do just a one-time yearly subscription, it'd be $81 a year, or you could go monthly for
November 5 Alpha Kilo, cross runway 30
$8 a month.
Alpha, echo into the ramp on my frequency.
Or you can just get a yearly subscription to the FMS data, but this does
FedEx
not.
3171, contact Denver Center 127.02.
Denver Center 127.02, FedEx 3171. 2702. Here's that area that has no clouds.
Southwest 4243, contact Los Angeles Center 124.62. See ya.
LA Center 124.62, Southwest 4243. Take care.
Denver Center, FedEx 3171, but level 330.
FedEx 3171, Denver Center, roger.
Okay. So back to this. So you can get just the FMS data for, €25 a year, which is just your FMC and all of your nav data, like your Garmin's and your airliner stuff. But you can get both. I would suggest you get both. If I bought the monthly charts plus the FMS data and have them, and if I'm out then into a folder, my monthly subscription ends, will my charts disappear? Negative. No, they will not disappear.
765 Salt Lake City ground runway 34 right.
If you buy just 1 month, or say you do monthly for like 3 months, or if you just do 1 monthly, like you click subscribe, you can end the subscription, right? So you'll have the current Eric, you'll have all the current charts. What you won't have, you won't have charts. To have access to the charts, you have to have an active subscription. So as long as you renew every month, you'll have charts. If you don't renew, you'll still have the FMC data, but you will no longer have access to the charts. The charts is the main thing with this. Nav data, you're basically buying 1 month, one cycle of nav data for $8. That's really what this is. You're just buying one. So your nav data you get to keep. So we're in, 18...
American 491, contact Albuquerque Center 134.6.
34.6, American 491.
Let me see. I have it wrote down. So right now we are in Eric 2004. So you would be current if you were to buy 1 month. And you would have charts for 1 month. Then the charts would go away, but you would still have the FMC data, if that makes sense.
American 491, Albuquerque Center, roger. Roger.
So we've got a shift change. I don't like the advanced rain. So, see, so this is Albuquerque area, and this is Colorado. So I winterized all of my Colorado for this flight. So the entire area is snow, because there's a big snowstorm up here. Now we need to do second flight plan, so we're going to go to route 2, Albuquerque to Denver.
Center, 690 Juliet is on Victor 120 for 14,000 now.
998 Juliet, roger. Southwest 765 Salt Lake City Tower, turn left heading 295, runway 34 right, cleared for takeoff.
Denver arrival for Route 2, which is not active.
1720 Sierra Papa Denver. I don't have an aircraft connected to the network. What's that call sign?
So RNAV Zulu 17 right.
Okay, sir, I'll check. Thank you.
17 right. RNAV Zulu 17 right. And my laptop just
Denver, Cessna 172 Juliet Sierra.
Oh no, my laptop didn't time out. The battery died. Oh well.
Then 172 Juliet or Denver. Make sure when you call in, you give the facility you're calling. And if you can hear the frequency is quiet, there is no need to stop the transmission. You can make the whole transmission with the request to go ahead.
Okay, sir, just doing a radio check.
Okay, that would be something added on the first call, loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. 172 Juliet.
The approach is 17 right. RNAV. Gets so I need a star, which is the
There's 0 Mike Echo, clear direct to Okapi, cross Okapi at or above 7,800, clear the RNI runway 12 approach.
So we have a second flight plan to go this way, so it'd be T-Bar, Monarch, Elos, Zeta, Loop, Hudby, Quickie, and then Stam, Dave, DFD, Jukebox, Julie. So that's our alternate in case the operations change. So we're gonna have to get ATIS here soon. So go back to Route 1. We have 80 miles to go before our top of descent. ATIS is 125.60. Probably too far away to get it. I'll get it ready on COM 2. We're gonna go at cargo ramp. And when we do start down,
Southwest
I think it's 11,000. Actually, let me bring in this other. It's 3, 5 left, I think. ILS.
Southwest 765, Denver departure, radar contact. Resume normal speed, climb and maintain. Flight level 230, direct Dirch.
Yeah, that's correct. From Ladora. And then, so that would go that way. And then I think I need to get the airport. All right. So that's cargo. And this is not geo-referenced, so we'll just keep it here.
This is your Mike Echo. I'm unable to clear you for that altitude. The MVA minimum vectoring altitude
so
is
11,800
in your sector.
Is the bottom at the start? Or no, for Ladora, it's 13,000. So when you get permission to descend,
Southwest
the lowest is
13,000. Runway 10 left at Echo. Taxi
and then the
Tango,
approach
Kilo Echo
would be go down to 11,000 and then intercept the glide slope at 7,000.
United 15 is 05 radar contact lost. FedEx 3171 descend via the T-Bar 1 arrival. Runway 35 left transition altimeter 3005.
Descend via the T-Barra 1 arrival, 35 left transition, 3005, FedEx 3171. Alright, so I think I got, we're programmed for the 35 left. Now, here's another thing. He gave us permission to descend via the star.
So the 3502 Denver Ground, runway
right?
34 right or 34 left available.
So he says we can descend, but we still have 56 miles to our top of descent.
So 3502 runway 34 right taxi.
That just means we are permitted to be on our way down whenever we want, really. If he would have said descend now to flight level 240 or something like that, then we'd have to descend. But he just said descend via the arrival, the Tabera 1. So our lowest altitude will be 13,000 because we're programmed for a north ops, and that's why he said 35 left transition, because that's what these are, is runway transitions. So Ladora is a runway transition. If he wanted us to land on 17, he would say 17 left transition. That way we would know to dial in this one. So that's what I used the second flight plan for. So, but we're good to go. We're doing the Ladora 35 left approach. So 48 miles. And we'll abide by these restrictions.
Southwest 765 Salt Lake City Center. Climb and maintain flight level 380. 380 Southwest.
So when we leave our last assigned altitude, which is 330, to start our descent, we have to let him know we're leaving our last assigned altitude.
Southwest 1389 Portland Tower, runway 10 left.
Never knew I followed a teacher. Yeah, thanks, man. That's why I do this. That's why I started streaming. For one, it gives me interaction, and I enjoy teaching. Most of my jobs in my past have involved some sort of teaching of some sort. So I enjoy, like, I didn't start streaming until I felt pretty comfortable with online flying, and then I wanted to pass on my knowledge to you guys, and that. So the main, every streamer has their little niche of what they do. Mine is two things. 98% of the time, I will be flying online, talking to some sort of air traffic controller. I'm not one of those streamers that says they're flying on VATSIM just to fly on VATSIM with no ATC guiding them or having to have any, just because you're flying online doesn't mean you have any online experience, if that makes any sense. Because if there's no one there to give you restrictions, then you're not really gaining any experience in how to fly in airspace. So whenever I stream, I fly online so I can show you guys what it's like to actually fly online all the time. And the other aspect of my streaming is I like teaching. So you kind of nailed it on that one. So I kind of narrate stuff as I go along, especially when I know there's newer people. If 4 months ago it was pretty much the same people, I'd already narrated quite a bit, so I'm kind of again getting a little bit more followers these days. All right, we got 20 miles. Top of descent 2014 will be on the ground at 2035.
714 Gazuli, Yakima Tower, make straight in, runway 27, reporting 5 mile final.
We'll be on the ground in like 25 minutes.
Southwest 1389, contact departure.
Denver, it's still snowing. Winds are 040 at 12. It's overcast. All right.
0 Mike Echo, contact Prescott Tower, good day.
Let the crew know we'll be descending soon.
Southwest 1389, Portland departure, radar contact. Climb and maintain 15,000. Southwest 3502 Denver Tower, runway 34 right, cleared for takeoff.
On your 60th subscriber, are you a subscriber or a follower? I don't. What do you mean?
November 190 Mike Echo, Prescott Tower, runway 12, clear to land.
I think if you're a subscriber to the Twitch channel, you would have a that little icon next to your name. I think I have 6, currently I think I have 6 subscribers and 211 followers, I think. And then my YouTube channel has got roughly 60
Zulu, runway 27, clear to land.
So if you're a subscriber to my Twitch channel, with that you get to see all my previous recorded streams. That's for subscribers only. And then you also have ad-free streaming. So if you're a subscriber, plus if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free. It doesn't cost anything. Once a month, you can use your Amazon. You just link your Amazon Prime account to my Twitch, or or anyone. You can support any streamer you like for free with Twitch Prime, which is pretty cool. Got 8 miles, top of descent, so we're going to reset for 13,000.
Sky 0 Tango Whiskey. On departure, maintain VFR at 1,400 and proceed direct to the mid-span of the San Mateo Bridge. Departure frequency 135.1, squawk 1771.
But yeah, I do the Twitch subscription to I have 3 streamers that I enjoy the most. Johnfly and
0 Tango Whiskey, verify VFR at 1,400.
Citation Max. Both are very good, very well known in the community. And for my DCS fix, I look out for Maverick, 104th Maverick, I think. He does a lot of DCS stuff, and he's very entertaining to watch. He's just really good streamer. So if I want, if I want to laugh a lot, I watch him.
The Eagle 6 arrival, runway 8 transition, altimeter 2995.
Should be starting our descent automatically.
Be the Eagle 6, runway 8, American 491.
Don't know why I'm not descending. I should be descending any second now. Alright, now I'm descending. Denver Center, FedEx 3171, leaving 330.
FedEx 3171, roger.
So that's the only thing I had to let him know.
Southwest 3502, contact departure.
So now we need to verify all the waypoints are correct. So we're coming to T-bar. So we'll check legs.
Southwest
T-bar
3502, Denver departure.
Above flight level 200, Minark or whatever. Flight level 210, right at 210, that's fine. At 250 knots. And then Bedvin, less than 15,000 feet. So that's below.
Southwest 1389, contact Seattle
below
Center
at 250.
135.15.
And then Cush. Cush is 14,000, right on the money.
Air 420, Tango
So if it doesn't have below or above,
left,
that means you're going to cross
Charlie,
right at 14.
Bravo. Cross runway 2 right on Bravo.
And then drag required, we'll just add in some speed brake there. Don't need much.
Seattle Center, good afternoon. Southwest
1389,
we're leveling 15,000.
Southwest 1389, Seattle Center, climb and maintain flight level 350.
Climb maintain 350, Southwest
13,000.
1389.
So this is an altitude, that's like an MEA, so that's a safe altitude between
Number
these
9 Juliet, contact Seattle Center 132.6.
12,000, so above 12,000.
32.6 for
Kipper.
690 Juliet.
So we're just going to use VNAV until the final approach fix, or at least the intermediate fix, which is Croup. At looks like 1,000 is the MEA for Croup. Yeah, 11,000. And we could dial in the ATIS. I'm not ATIS. Well, we could do ATIS
600
too.
Juliet, Seattle Center, altimeter 3030.
125.6, we got that ready to go. ILS is 1085. So we'll get that going with a 353 on head and course selector. So that's the ILS. So we're set for that. probably delete that one. Keep an eye on these. Add in some more speed brake. We're above the profile, that's why. Yeah, on Navigraph, if I purchase the monthly, the charts and the FMS data, I get charts and my subscription ends. Will I have my charts? Yeah, I thought I had covered that. I might not have. So once you end your subscription, you get to keep your nav data. So the Eric that is using all the waypoints and you know, the names of the stars and SIDS and frequencies, you know, all that changes monthly, or it has the potential to change monthly. So you keep that. That's yours forever once you buy it. These charts, once you're done with the subscription, you no longer will have access to the charts. You have to have a subscription to have access to these charts. And the link, which is called SimLink, which connects your airplane to the georeference charts, is free. It comes with the subscription.
American 491, contact Albuquerque Center 128.45.
2845, American 491.
See, we get ATIS.
35 left. Departing runway 35 left. 34 right. 25. ILS runway 34 left. Runway 34 right. ILS runway 35 left and runway 35 right.
Albuquerque Center, American 491, flight level 360, clear to descend via the Eagle 6 runway 8.
Clearance delivery.
American 491, Albuquerque Center, Roger. The Phoenix altimeter 2995.
Notice to airman runway 8.
American 491, Roger.
26 closed. Read the call runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information X-ray.
Rear approach 120.35.
Denver International Airport. ATIS information X-ray. 20150.
Denver approach 120.35, X31.
Visibility 1. Light snow.
Southwest 5502, contact Denver Center 133.67.
800 broken. 2,900 overcast. Temperature -6. Dew point -8. Altimeter 3007. Arriving runways 34 left, 34 right, 358, 35 left.
Keep missing
Departing
that
runways
code.
35 left,
751,
34
Navy
right,
uniform, Seattle
25. ILS runway 34 left, runway 34 right, ILS runway 35 left and runway 35 right approach in use. Multiple R-Nub Zulu approaches in use. VFR departures, contact, clearance,
November 1,
delivery,
Navy uniform,
advise
squawk
on course
5370, maintain
heading,
VFR.
flight following is requested. Notice to airman runway 8, 26 closed. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information X-ray.
All right, X-ray.
Southwest 3502, Denver Center, climb and maintain flight level 380.
Denver approach, FedEx 3171 heavy, descending via to Barry 1 arrival, 35 left transition. Current with X-ray, request the ILS 35 left, full approach from Ladora.
FedEx 3171 heavy, Denver approach, you can expect that altimeter 3007.
3007, FedEx 3171 heavy. 3007. Alright, so let's...
November 1, Lima uniform, radar contact 25 miles west of the Ellensburg VOR. Altimeter 3042.
3007. Actually, my sim is doing 3004, but we'll keep an eye on that. Slow down to 250 knots at MNARC.
American 491, roger.
Fuel is balanced. Yep, Swiss cheese, hey bud. Let me see what I missed here. So I'll get back to you in a second, Swiss cheese. So sideways. Yeah, Navigraph, if I purchased a monthly charts, the infamous data, I get subscription. Alright, I saw that part already. But, so you can't see the charts. No. So if you don't have an active subscription, you will not have charts for Navigraph. You have to have an active subscription. We should be making a right turn to Belbin, which we are. So you have to, like, you'll have charts for a month, but if you don't renew the monthly or a yearly subscription, then you lose the charts, but you always get to keep the nav data itself. And Swiss Cheese says, hey Chase in chat, have you showed them the Eric updater? No. No. I don't. You mean the manager? Yeah, there's a manager. I can show you that too. That's a good idea. So if your monthly is ending, your charts go away and not able to see the actual charts. Correct. Yep, charts are only good for subscriptions. That's their main feature, is those charts. And yes, it's all done with the app. I'm confused. Eric Updater will keep all of your nav data across the flight plan apps and your planes. Yeah, he's not worried about how to update the airplane, Swiss cheese. He's worried, or not worried, but he's curious about the ability to have the charts. The ability to have the charts without having a subscription. You have to have the subscription to have charts. There's really no way around that.
Horizon Air 2514, Boise clearance is clear to Portland Airport. Boise 3 departure. Radar vectors to sail as filed. Climb and maintain 16,000. Departure frequency 119.6, squawk 4022.
Alright, we're in icing conditions. That icing is on already. Turn on terrain, wherever that is.
Horizon Air 2514, read back correct. FedEx 3171 Heavy, contact Denver approach 123.85.
Denver approach 123.85, FedEx 3171 Heavy. 2385. Towers 1. Denver approach, FedEx 3171 Heavy, leaving 14,100.
FedEx 3171 Heavy, Denver approach, cleared ILS runway 35 left approach.
Cleared ILS 35 left approach, FedEx 3171 Heavy. Alright, so looks like we got snow. Let me turn off.
Tango Whiskey, that's fine, just let me know when you're ready to taxi.
Let's turn off the weather. Get rid of that. We're cleared the ILS approach, so we can go down to, I don't know what I say this was. Final approach fix is 7,000. So we'll go down to 7,000. And 7,000 as a diamond. So we can do flaps 1. And sound, kick that up. And let me see what I missed here. Appreciate you helping out, Swiss cheese. How can you lose the charts of the airport? Because you need to be signed in a Navigraph app. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. So the only way I have these charts is because it logs in automatically with my username and password. So if I didn't have, like you go to home, see in the Navigraph, if I were to click on that, it would give me my login information, which is the only reason I have this chart. It's connected to the AVI tab, which is a free app. I bring up the airport. Why am I not descending? Maybe VNAV clicked off somehow. I don't know. Figure it out. Gaining speed. Let's do, let's hold this at 9,000. Slam on the brakes. I wasn't paying attention. I've got 5 miles to the runway. I might be able to pull this off. We'll see.
Air 5112 Golf, Centennial clearance at request. It's going to be a full route.
3. All right, here's 9,000.
Request, and when I'm ready, I'll let you know. But you're on request.
So we're going to arm approach. We're going to drop the gear, create as much drag as possible. Slowly add in flaps. Arm approach. Flaps 5 at 210. All right, we're good.
609 Air Alpha Foxtrot, Spring, correction, Centennial ground, runway 10, taxi via Charlie.
80 is 20. APU coming on.
They're 5112 Golf clearance available, advise ready.
That's fine.
They're 5112 Golf is cleared to the Colorado Springs Airport, Denver to departure, radar vectors to Lufsea. Victor 389.
Let fuel system pressure. I have no idea what that means.
Black Forest. Then direct. Climb and maintain 9,000. Departure frequency 126.1.
So arm the spoilers.
Squawk 7233.
Let's put the ILS on this side. So that's right, okay. It showed. Oh, maybe I was on the wrong page. I thought it was much closer.
November 12 Golf, reback correct.
It's all good. I don't play this as much as I do the Airbus. Wind update. Close traffic global for landing. Go down to 170. Flaps 20.
The 609 Air Alpha Foxtrot Centennial Tower, what's your direction of flight?
Landing lights.
Denver 9 Alpha Foxtrot, straight up departure is approved, runway 10 cleared for takeoff. Air 420 Tango Whiskey, Oakland to ground, runway 28 left, taxi via Charlie, Bravo. Cross runway 28 right on Bravo.
Denver approach, FedEx 3171 Heavy. Should I go to tower?
FedEx 3171 Heavy, still about 11 miles out. I'll have a handout for you and within 5.
2500.
I misjudged my distance. FedEx 3171 Heavy. Man, what is wrong with... Oh, that's 20. No, that's 20. That's 10 miles. Yeah, 5 miles would have been fine. So I'm pretty sure that's 133.3. 35 left.
Air 5112 Golf Centennial ground, runway 17 left, taxi via Alpha.
35 left, 133.3, yep. Alright, so 160 would be flaps 25. Left fuel system pressure, I have no idea what the heck that means. Missed approach is 10,000. Then right turn direct to the GLL VOR. So we'll climb to 10,000, then right if we need to, but we're not going to have to.
FedEx 3171 Heavy, contact Denver Tower 133.3.
Denver Tower 133.3, FedEx 3171 Heavy. Three. Denver Tower, FedEx 3171 Heavy, establishing a localizer, 35 left.
FedEx 3171 Heavy, Denver Tower, runway 35 left, cleared to land, wind 020 at 11.
35 left, clear to land, FedEx 3171 Heavy. Can't see squat. It's in a blizzard.
American 491, contact Phoenix approach 128.65. American 491 Heavy, Phoenix approach, thanks for whiskey, expect visual approach runway 8.
What you call an auto land. No, I can do it. I see it now.
200.
Autopilot off.
Oakland Tower, Skyhawk 420 Tango Whiskey, holding short 28 right. We're ready to go.
420 Tango Whiskey, Oakland Tower, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
20. 10.
28 left, clear for takeoff, 0 Tango Whiskey.
What happened to my map? Always wait till after the stop bar to stop, not before. Slam on the brakes there. Ground is 121.85. Get that ready. We're not going to switch the ground unless he tells me to. Denver Tower, FedEx 3171 Heavy off the runway, looking for South Cargo.
FedEx 3171 Heavy taxi to cargo via Mike and Alpha, monitor ground.
Cargo via Mike, Alpha, monitor ground, FedEx 3171 Heavy, see ya. So
Good day.
we're going to monitor ground, so it'll be 2185.
Centennial Tower, Skyline 5112, Golf,
Turn
ready
off
for
the landing
departure,
lights.
17 left.
Strobes are off.
Air 5112 Golf, Centennial Tower, runway 17 left, cleared for takeoff, fly runway heading.
Turn off the wing anti-ice.
17 left, clear for takeoff, runway
Leave the
heading,
engine on
12
for
Golf.
right now. Flaps are up. APU is on. All right, let me see what I'm sure I missed a bunch of chat. Eric Updater. I'll keep all your nav data. But how can you lose the charts because you need to be signed in? Man, that sucks. Well, they gotta make money somehow. So if you didn't have a monthly subscription, because you gotta think sideways that it's not like the charts are there and they only have to update the charts once. These charts in the arrivals and the departures, they change all the time. So the guys are constantly updating these charts in their program. So, you know, you're paying them to do a service, just like any other subscription-based program. So, you know, they're doing a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure all these charts are updated correctly. So, you know, that's why you have to pay for them, because they do a lot of work to keep these things active. You can download PDF and put them in a folder in AV tab, but you need to go find them yourself. That's true. And all the charts in the United States are available on SkyVector for free. I'll show you that. But if you want charts for anything overseas, then you need to find them, and Navigraph is the easiest way to find them. But you can get all the charts in the United States for free on SkyVector. So I'll show you that once I park. Charts are available for free. You just got to find them, he says. So if you have Navigraph charts in my monthly subscription ends,
Whiskey,
I still have them.
Contact
Nope, because you don't believe the Navigraph to let you download them. Now, Navigraph, you can't download them. That's true. You can download SkyVector charts, and I'll show you those.
12 Golf, contact Denver
and
departure.
there's other internet sources to get them. That's true.
12 Golf, contact Denver departure.
Navigraph also has iPad, Android app, which you can view them, same details. It's a nice app. That's true. Boeings are better.
They're 5112 Golf, Denver departure, radar contact. After 8,000, clear direct to left C.
Coast Pilot, mighty soft for a cargo landing. Yeah, this plane is surprisingly easy to land. Surprisingly easy.
They're 420 Tango Whiskey, NorCal departure, Oakland, altimeter 3016, remain outside of Bravo airspace, maintain VFR. One Lima uniform, contact Seattle Center, contact Seattle approach, 125.6.
Quite the scenic
November
flight too.
751 Lima uniform.
Yeah, it wasn't
Seattle
very
altimeter
scenic
is
because of the snow, but
3042.
I had changed the entire state to snow, and of course I have the Denver package that
Number
has a
12 VFR
snow
traffic
version,
is
so
3 o'clock, 2.5
that's why I
miles, same
mainly
direction of
did
flight.
this flight, because I
Type
knew it
unknown,
would be
altitude verified indicates
IMC.
8,600.
But it's pretty cool that you can winterize orthophoto to make it look like snow. And that's a free converter too. But go to skyvector.com, I think. I mean, I'll show you here in a minute, but most of my briefings are not all. Most of my briefings that I give in the beginning of the stream is based off of those SkyVector charts, because I've been reading those longer and they're just easier for me to read. Yeah, it's funny for such a big plane that this is an easy plane to land. I can land this plane easier than the TBM. TBM is probably the most difficult plane for me to land. I don't know why. Has a weird ground effect at low speed. You love the 748? Yeah, do you have the 748 by what's the name of that developer? Critical Simulations? C something.
American 491 Heavy, contact Phoenix approach 120.4. Southwest 765, contact Oakland Center 132.905.
Down here in the cargo ramp. I don't like failures. I wish there was some way to prevent things from failing.
Springs, clearance, power 428.
American 491 Phoenix approach, descend to maintain 4,000, flight present heading vectors for the visual approach runway 8. Southwest 765 Oakland Center, descend via the MyBad 2 arrival. The Reno altimeter is 3022. Power 428 Springs clearance.
Power 428 looking to pick up IFR to Billings.
Power 428 Springs clearance on request.
So
Boise ground horizon 2514 short of Alpha A taxi.
Seatbelts off.
Horizon 2514 Boise ground, verify information
off.
uniform.
Horizon 2514
APU
got
is
uniform.
on. Fuel off. We'll go to PilotEdge, disconnect. All right. Oh, I need to get credit my FedEx A cars. Follow that pilot rip. And we can shut down. APU's off. Let's do a replay real quick. Always make sure you're offline to do replays. If you're online, you will show back up on their radar scope even for a replay. So you always sign offline before you do any kind of replay. Now it gets super loud with this noise. So let me show you the charts that are free. So hold your ears for this transition. I know it's loud. So you go to SkyVector, and these are the charts that you get for free. So here's the link for SkyVector Slideways. So here you can download the PDFs. So you just open it by the little thing on the right, and then if you wanted to keep it, which you really don't need to because they're updated every month, you could go to like download and download them to put them in a PDF file in AV tab. But that's what I do on my laptop. I just open them all up on my laptop. But these charts are free on SkyVector, but only in the United States. So if you were to go to like I don't know what's over here in England, London, Heathrow, you right click on it and there's no charts, 0 charts. So you can get away with SkyVector, you know, in the United States with all of your charts for free. But if you want to fly overseas at all, then you won't have any charts. So could you get away with an FMS data package just monthly? So you subscribe one time and you would get a nav data package for your airplanes, and then you would get to keep that, but then you would lose access to your charts, but you only need them if you want to fly overseas. Otherwise you have all these charts for free on SkyVector. Forever. SkyVector charts is just an open domain type, like anybody has access to this. So you don't pay for SkyVector. This website here is totally free, and it's the entire world, but the only charts that show up, see, are in the United States. There is no charts available overseas. You have to have a Navigraph charts, or you can look them up online. You have to do some research, but I don't research it because I pay for my Navigraph charts, so that way I have the entire planet. But you can get all these for free. All your frequencies, everything you need is right here for free. Well, the FMC data comes with 1 month. So you get to keep the data, which is your ERIC, right? It's your current ERIC. So when you update your ERIC, these are the cycles. So this ERIC is only good till April 22, and then a new ERIC will come out. These are monthly cycles. So all these charts, like the Tiberi 3, for example, or Tiberi 1, you'll see the date on this, 26 March of 20. So that's the date that this chart came out. So they're updated on this website all the time, and Navigraph charts will do the same. So the main thing that you want is the FMS data if you fly in the United States. So you could just do like buy 1 month worth, wait about 3 months, 4 months, whenever you see significant changes here. If there's big changes in SIDS and stars, like Denver had a huge change in the last month or two, then you could go back and do another monthly subscription and get the latest nav data, let that expire, and the only thing you would lose is the charts, but you would always have these charts for free. Does that make sense?
300.
Anywho, I hope you all enjoyed the flight. I enjoyed the conversation. I'm glad you guys are getting something out of these streams. I try to be as informative as possible. Thanks for the support in chat, Coast Pilot, Slideways, Swiss Cheese, and who else was here earlier? Gizmo, I think. Yep. All right, guys. You all enjoy the rest of your day, and I will be back tomorrow. My normal stream time is 2 p.m. Eastern. I stream every day on PilotEdge at 2 p.m. Eastern. So y'all take care, and I will catch you next stream. Know you going? Yeah, man, I can only sit here for so long. My streams are usually 2.5 hours, but I do it every day. So, you know, if you have questions, look for me tomorrow or any day. I'm here every day, and I'll help you out. All right, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch you next stream. Chase out.
Expect ILS approach to 35 left. Tola, cross Tola at 9,000, cleared ILS runway 35 left approach.
Cross Chola at 9,000, cleared for the ILS 35 left approach, United 1502.
0,000, 10,000.
260, discretion descend via the AL34 right transition.
Frontier Flight 310, Denver approach, expect ILS approach runway 34 right, Denver altimeter 3008, India is current.
We'll grab India decimal 08 vectors to join ILS 34 right, Frontier 310. And approach from United 1502, is that Chola at or above 9,000, clear for the approach?
Yeah, United 1502, let's make it at or above 9,000 at Chola, cleared ILS runway 35 left approach.
Okay, cleared ILS 35 left approach, Chola at or above 9,000, United 1502.
Approach 120.8.
Go as 5651.
Denver United 2314 out of 29.5 on the Logger 1, landing on 34 right hotel.
United 2314, Denver approach, expect ILS approach runway 34 right, Denver altimeter 3008, information India, not current.
We'll get India, and we'll expect all that. United 2314, thank you.
325.2 descending via D-class.
Skyway 5073, Denver approach, expect ILS approach runway 35 left, Denver altimeter 3008, India current.
Roger that, we'll grab India, Skyway 5073, and we'll expect 35 left.
Skyway 5166, contact approach 120.8.
5.8, Skyway 5166.
1502.
Drive 56, amend your altitude, maintain 11,000, 11,000.
6, Denver approach, runway 35 left.
35 left, Scouts 5166.
Skyway 5486, contact approach 133.62.
13362, good day, Scouts 46.
Have a good day. 1502, contact tower 133.3 today.
33.3, United 1502, you do the same?
Thank you. Skyway 5166,